I know this is a question always was burning in my mind doing this process for myself, was the order process that it has to happen. So
Yeah.
we talked about the modules, and then there's some of the modules that don't need close, but what's the best order? Is there logic to this order, or is it just kind of something we need to make sure we jot down?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. There is some logic to it. Sage published what you're looking at, which is the official order to, well, let me start with this and say, each module, other than the 4 that I mentioned, have a year-end or period-end process to run. So, and they all need to be run separately. So you have to run them one at a time. They don't all run at the same time. So they need to be run separately. Sage published this document as their preferred order to close them in. The reality of it is, and what I tell my customers is, to simplify this, just close from the bottom of the launcher to the top of the launcher. So you can see, like, they're recommending purchase order, sales order, inventory happen before general ledger. Well, I'm going to take control back here, Jeremy, just so I can show this. If we look at my launcher.
Yeah, your screen's on.
Yes. Can you see it?
Yep,
Okay.
I can see it.
All right, cool, thank you. So if you look at my launcher, purchase order, sales order, inventory are at the bottom, and general ledger's at the top. So I think the easiest way to do it is just close from the bottom of the launcher to the top. And the logic to this is, your transactional or your subsidiary modules, if you will, down at the bottom here, post to modules further up the tree. So as an example, the sales order module, if you create an invoice in sales order, it will post the inventory effects of that to the inventory module, and the invoice will post to the accounts receivable module, and the general ledger posting will post all the way up to the general ledger. And so they really want you to close the modules first that post modules further up the tree, because what you could do is you could have like a sales order invoice batch with a November transaction in it, and if you've already closed your accounts receivable module for that period, it won't allow it to post to accounts receivable because that period's already closed. So really the logic of it is any module that would post to another module that gets closed first. And so if you look at the launcher, just work your way up the launcher. And that's to me is the easiest way to approach it, with the general ledger module obviously always being the last module to close.